here. It is the Joe Pags Show. Great radio stations all over the place. iHeartRadio, NewsmaxTV.com, JoePags.com. Thrilled to have you along for the ride. Even more thrilled to have my great friend, the Motor City Madman, the best guitar player I know and that you've ever heard. It's Ted Nugent, his own self. Ted, how are you?
I'm doing so good. Pags, Double Live, Gonzo, Truth, Logic, Common Sense, We the People Radio. I hope you're recording this interview because this may be the first documented case of the interviewee being stoned on aged, garlic-infested mourning dove breasts. So I think this will be a very special interview.
So you ate well today is what you're saying?
I killed well, I ate well, I rocked well, I live well, I love well, I shoot well, I train dogs well, I do interviews well. I'm so damn well I can hardly stand myself.
And we love every second of it. As I told my listeners and my viewers, we're live on Newsmax TV as well. I pretty much have to throw out lob one question, then you go for about a half an hour, which I love. Ted, by the way, congratulations. 3 or 4 days ago, you got this award, the David Staples Golden Award of Merit for your bow hunting. Talk to me about this. What is this?
Well, the Archery Hall of Fame is a great, great organization that was established to celebrate the definitive discipline. Definitive discipline. I think that's the foundation of the American dream last time I checked.
Yep.
But the definitive discipline of the mystical flight of the arrow, the Olympic archery event is the ultimate aim small, miss small physics of spirituality.
Right.
And the founding fathers of the bow hunting world and the archery world go all the way back to prehistory. But my great hero Fred Bear and Howard Hill and Ben Pearson and Ishii and Chief Compton, some great, great archers and award winners themselves, they humbled me and honored me with the Dave Staples Merit Award because of my lifetime of promoting the definitive discipline of the mystical flight of the arrow. Archery is the foundation of a true north compass setting in life, and we don't shoot arrows. We are the damn arrows.
Right. It's
pretty important stuff.
No, it is, and I'm thrilled for you, and well-deserved. Ted, we've talked about this a million times. We're surrounded by idiots, and I say that in the nicest possible way because truly we're not. but because the media is so filled with idiots, it appears as though we're surrounded by them. Let me just go back to the Olympic Games for a second, and I would love to hear you opine on this because I know that you probably thought what I did when it happened. The first gold medal we won in the Olympics was in shooting. This is a young girl, 17, 18 years, 19 years old, whatever she was. She won the gold medal in shooting. And not only did NBC appear to not want to talk about it and not want to admit that that's what it was in, also social media blew up about, what's the next gold going to be in mass shootings? And how appropriate that a disgusting country like America with this and that and the other. Can we ever get the mentality back to where it's understood that bad people do bad things, good people do good things, and if you win a gold medal for shooting, it's just as cool as winning it for ice skating?
Amen to you, my friend. By the way, I've got a new organization called I Heart Pags.
Come on.
I Heart Truth, Logic, and Common Sense. Yes, everyone should remember the name Kim Rodes.
Yeah.
Kim Rodes, R-H-O-D-E-S, a multiple Olympic medalist, gold medalist in the incredible definitive discipline of the aim small, miss small physics of spirituality. And I hope people are really paying attention to Uncle Ted's verbiage here, because to be able to hit every damn clay target that is thrown with a shotgun is a Herculean feat of definitive discipline. So, yes, it is a manifestation of our cultural deprivation that the media would dismiss the incredible discipline and athleticism of the shooting sports because the so-called justice system keeps letting out murderers and rapists and sucker punchers and carjackers and child molesters in Chicago to rape and murder and attack and destroy their fellow human beings. And somehow, by the stretch of some LSD destroyed mindset, and Joe, I mean that, in order to try to claim that a gold medalist trap shooter is somehow relative to the drive-by shooting subhuman mongrels of Chicago is truly the devil at work. So, yes, Kim Rhodes won another gold medal in the shooting disciplines in the Olympic Games, and we should celebrate that while condemning the media, the government, and academia who do not represent and get up every day to not represent we the people. So we the people know about Kim Rhodes, and we celebrate her every day because what a great accomplishment in the shooting sports, Olympian champion she is.
It is NRA board director, father of the year. It is husband. It is best-selling New York Times best-selling book writer.
Don't forget I'm the funniest black comedian in America. Don't forget that.
Okay, that's going to go viral now. Thanks, Ted. Now that's
right. Well, I am. I'm from Detroit. Before I got to Detroit, it was just known as Town. When I got there, it was more town than it was before.
There you go. Exactly right.
There you go.
It's Ted Nugent. Go to tednugent.com, TEDNUGENT.com. Go read his incredible articles. Go and read about his tour, buy his books, get his CDs. You hear his song, Love Grenade, on my program twice an hour, every hour. Colin Kaepernick. Here's a guy who won't stand up for the flag. I know what you do. I know what I try to do, but it pales in comparison to what you do for those who have fought to protect what that flag represents. When you see a guy, a privileged guy who's a third stringer, I think he might be the backup this year, but he's not worth the money, making $16, $19 million a year, refusing to stand for the flag because of what he thinks he knows. And you and I both know he doesn't know what he thinks he knows. What does it make you feel immediately? And what would you like to say to him if you could?
Well, I would say, number one, congratulations for your athletic dedication to becoming this world-class athlete.
Yeah.
But equal to that congratulations is the question, how dumb can you be? I would like you to show me one American who qualifies as oppressed. I dare you, Kaepernick. I dare you to show me an American that is oppressed by outside sources and outside forces instead of being oppressed because you chose to be oppressed by not trying hard and not putting forth the effort that this great athlete did to achieve his success, which, by the way, is available to every human being in America if you do the following. Speak clearly, get up early, try hard, remain clean and sober, and be willing to sacrifice and make risks to be the very best that you can be. There is no oppression in America unless you have fallen for the big political correct lie that you deserve to be oppressed if you choose to feel oppressed. And then you can go to Plan B, which would be dial 1-800-NUMBNUT and have Michael Moore explain to you why personal hygiene is superfluous.
It's Ted Nugent, not a friend of Michael Moore for sure. Michael Moore, by the way, who supports the unions, and he's from Flint. He's really not. He's from Davison. He supports the unions. He wouldn't let any union employees build his $5 million house in Traverse City. Michael Moore's suffering greatly. He's
oppressed, I think. By the way, Michael Moore won the gold in stink at the Olympics.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to check that, but I think you might be onto something. It's Ted Nugent, his own self. Go to tednugent.com. Follow him on Twitter at Ted Nugent. Also on Facebook. Again, just put in facebook.com/Ted Nugent. The president, of course, came out like he came out with Michael Brown, like he came out with Trayvon Martin, like he came out in any case where a person of color, Skip Gates in Cambridge, he came out, of course, on the side of Colin Kaepernick saying he's got the right to do so, and that flag, gives him that right, and this is a great thing for America that he's raising and he's engaging the question. Any surprise on what side the president took?
No, the evidence has been in for years now, and the jury is not still out, And Joe, you know it pains me to criticize my fellow man, and it pains me to criticize my fellow Americans.
Yeah.
And it shatters me to the core to have to not only criticize but condemn the buffoonery of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, who I'm heartbroken when I have to admit that the man is the biggest racist in America.
Yeah.
This guy always goes for color of skin, not content of character.
Right.
Joe, it's tragic. And yes, does Kaepernick have the right to dissent and the right to protest? Of course he does. But you also have the right to be an idiot and to be dumb and to be dishonest no one is oppressed in America unless you choose to be oppressed.
It's Ted Nugent, TedNugent.com. Go there, read his articles that are amazing. I have to talk to you about presidential politics, how you think Trump is doing now. This get-together tonight on NBC where Matt Lauer's not going to be fair to Trump, but they're doing it anyway. Can you hang out for another segment, Ted?
It'd be my pleasure. God bless America. God bless Texas. God bless I Heart Joe Pag.
It's Ted Nugent. We'll be back right after this on Newsmax TV and also on great radio stations across the land. This is the Joe Pag Show. It's the Joe Pag Show. Great radio stations all over. Of course, Newsmax TV as well. We've got Ted Nugent on the line. Ted is, of course, a best-selling author. Ted, White and Blue, the Nugent Manifesto, just got done with the 2016 Sonic Baptism Tour. Ted, you're lucky enough, I'm lucky enough that we get to talk to the general public a lot, you much more than I. So we know that we're not really surrounded by idiots, but it sometimes feels like the walls are closing in on us. Is that why you continue to tour and just kill it every single year? You tirelessly go city to city, venue to venue, and you see real Americans? Is that sort of you staying connected?
Well, the touring agenda is so all-encompassing, Joe. It really is about travel. It's about meeting people every night. I wrapped up on September 3rd in Muskogee, Oklahoma, my 6,578th concert.
Nice.
Now, that goes all the way back to school dances and sock hops and fraternity parties and pool parties and state fairs. But 6,578 concerts, number one, the music is enthralling. I'm always surrounded by world-class musicians. Greg Smith on bass guitar and Jason Hartless from Detroit on drums is every guitar player's dream. But equal to that musical adventure and gratification is the communication I have every day. That's not just 6,578 concerts. It's 6,578 hanging out meetings with working hard, playing hard Americans who are solidly in the asset column. So when you say we're surrounded by idiots, it is true, and it's heartbreakingly true, because the media represents the idiots. Certainly Hillary Clinton has taken advantage of the dumbing down of America, and her sheep zombies are idiots, and academia is trying to turn everybody who graduates from the American education system into idiots, and the media believes everybody is idiots. So the working hard, playing hard core of America is alive and well, and they're really bright. They're pragmatic. They're utilitarian. They're capable. They're independent. They're rugged individuals. They're entrepreneurs. They really are solidly in the asset column as producers in America. And it's that core that is backing this unique individual who is breaking down the shackles of status quo politics, and that is Donald Trump. So there is hope. The prognosis is hopeful that more and more working hard, playing hard Americans in the asset column will finally register to vote and perform their basic we the people duties, our we the people responsibilities to remain engaged. And so I pray to God every night that the pulse I experienced on this tour in 2016, we did 58 concerts in 68 days, and they were indescribable in their energy and their positive spirit, not just musically, but the campfire chats every day before the concerts and every night after the concerts. I believe the pulse of America is still ruggedly independent, dedicated to be an asset and be a productive citizen, but we're not represented by media, government, or academia, and so that triad of evil, really it is evil if you get right down to it, the crimes of the government running amok, the dishonesty of the media, and the intentional dumbing down by academia. That does not represent the good of America. So I pray to God, Joe, and everybody listening right now, if you know somebody in the family or at work or church or school who's not registered to vote and are not performing their we the people responsibilities, kick them square in the ass and let them know that if Hillary Clinton becomes elected, we are done.
And the biggest thing there is, of course, the Supreme Court. That sets our value system for the next 30, 40, 50 years. It's
Amen.
Ted Nugent, tednugent.com, facebook.com/Ted Nugent. You can go to @TedNugent on Twitter. You and Donald Trump have a lot in common, been in the public eye a very, very long time. You guys also have something in common, that the media is never fair with you. And I've talked to Mr. Trump 4 times now on my program, and I've talked to you innumerable times during our friendship for the past 16 years. I don't know if you've talked to him or not, Ted, and you will or won't tell us, but how would you compare what you go through with the media being biased, unfair, and lying about you, and how would you compare that to him? Maybe compare notes as he goes forward in the next 65, 75 days in trying to win the presidency, because the media is going to be Hillary Clinton's main campaign partner.
Well, we've talked about this before, and I've not spoke directly with Donald Trump, but I've spent time with his children and conveyed my concerns and conveyed my experiences. When the Houston Chronicle, not just the Chicago Tribune, not just the Boston newspapers and the New York newspaper, the Houston Chronicle, Joe, a Texas newspaper, put quotes around the following rant: "All you dirty, stinking Mexicans should go back where you came from." They attributed that nasty, hateful statement in quotations on the front page of the Houston Chronicle. They claim I said that.
Yeah.
No such words ever came out of my mouth.
Correct.
And I could give you thousands of examples where the Saul Alinsky zombies in the media will lie and make up the nastiest, most vicious, hateful lies they possibly can.
How do you survive it? How do you survive it, though?
Their agenda.
And you have survived it. How did you do that? And how is Donald Trump? We've got less than 2 minutes. How does Donald Trump keep on staying above it, and now he's leading in the polls? It's kind of amazing.
He is doing it just like I've done it. Stay on course, get on the Joe Pag show, get on Medium whenever possible, take advantage of the tens of millions of people on my Facebook and his Facebook, and get the truth out, and let people who know us articulate what we are made of, not the lying media, the corrupt and power-abusing government, and the dumbing down of America, of academia. And only the guilty need to feel guilty, because there's good journalists, there's good teachers, and there's some people in the government that are good, but they're outnumbered by rotten scum.
Yeah, I agree.
So you're accurate, and I got to tell you, there is hope for America if we wake up today.
I've got 30 seconds. If you have the opportunity to tell somebody who's on the fence, Mike Clinton, Mike Trump, 30 seconds as to why this decision is so important.
If you don't earn your own way, the Chinese would like to thank you. Donald Trump represents earning your own way. Hillary Clinton represents bloodsuckers.
Done and done. Ted, I can't thank you enough for your friendship, for how completely upfront, open, and wonderful you are when I ask you about any topic. And just those who are listening know, and those who are watching know, we never discuss what we're going to talk about before we hit the air. And never, ever have I in 16 years stumped you, and never, ever have you been at a loss for words about these very important topics. Thank you for your friendship, and love to Shemaine and the boys.
Happy hunting season. God bless America.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon. It's Ted Nugent, his own self. We love that he takes the time and, some perspective there from somebody who has been a public figure for eons. I always love talking to him because he always keeps me smiling about what can happen in this country and about how we should engage and how we should mix it up. And he's right about just about everything he said. 1-800-383-9624. Newsmax TV. See you tomorrow. Keep it here.